All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got possibly a good one here. I don't want to oversell. Sometimes I oversell, but they're ranking the best and the worst. They're looking back on the past year. This is from 1990, July. So they'd have been looking back on like the 89, fall 89 stuff. So this might be fun to see what they liked and what they didn't. Let's get into it. Again, July of 1990. Where were you all in 1990? I know I had just graduated high school. Check out this thing, the Ford Escort wagon. Anybody remember wagons? It's kind of funny that they made a station wagon out of a pretty small car, but probably had all you needed. Look at that mullet right there. Is that a killer mullet or what? I don't know what the deal is with Richard Lewis. I mean, he's from New York or whatever, so why is he rocking a mullet? But it was the 80s. It's a mysterious time. All right. I hope we don't have to read a lot of text here, but maybe we will. But I think this will be fun, so let's see what they got here. So Fox Channel had been around for a year or two, so we got The Simpsons and stuff like that. Let's scan this before we get into it. They got series here, Hindenburg Award, sports specials. Oh wow, look at this. They got ratings. Never seen this in a TV guide. All right, let's scan it and go through it. I was hoping they'd have like more rankings and stuff, but we'll see. So they're saying best series. They like Twin Peaks. I wasn't a Twin Peaks guy, but I guess a lot of people liked it. They like The Simpsons, so that's cool that they recognize that. Simpsons were good for about 8 or 9 years, and then it's just pure slop now. They didn't like the Bradys. Yeah, and see, they don't show us what the Bradys is. It's kind of hard to get a feel for that. Guiltiest Pleasure, America's Funniest Home Video. I mean, it's definitely a good show back then. Most Welcome Return, Carol Burnett in 1990. I don't know about that one. Fondest Farewells, Tracy Ullman. Okay, that's legit. Yeah, they got a lot of weird categories here and not like rankings, but we'll see. We'll read through it and see. Documentary, who cares? Newcomer of the Year, Raven Simone. Okay, so they must have liked when Cosby jumped the shark and brought on Raven Simone, and she was really good on that show. Most promising debuts, Life Goes On. I remember that show. That was a good show. The Hindenburg Award. I'm assuming they mean it was like a complete train wreck. Today's Show features most spectacular crash and burn. Oh, when they got rid of Jane Pauley. Yeah, that's a good Hindenburg there, because Jane Pauley was beloved. Best show nobody saw, Elvis. Okay. Worst show everybody saw, Chicken Soup. I don't remember that. I was not watching as much TV at this point. You know, I was being too cool for school. Other couples of the year. I'm not going to read all these because some of these are pretty lame, like Sam Donaldson as an anchor or whatever. Most inspiring sequel, Eyes on the Prize 2. I vaguely remember that. I mean, we all should remember the first one, but I do think I remember the second one. I don't know. These are some weird categories. I'm slightly disappointed by this so far, and I'm not going to go through the whole sports thing. But let's see. Well, they're making fun of Dice Man, so let's look at some more of these. Most stomach churning special. Most daring new in living color. There you go. That's legit. So they recognized that living color was good right from the get-go. Most improved sitcom coach. Dice Man Melteth. Came off as bland as guest hosting Saturday Night Live. Okay. I mean, Dice Man wasn't really a skit guy anyway, so that's all they do on Saturday Night Live is skits. Alienation Award to Alf. Landon and Nielsen bumped it. Happy birthdays. Oh, I guess these are like kids that got born on some of these shows or something. I don't know. I don't know about these awards. I thought they were going to have some, I thought they were going to be making fun of Baywatch and stuff, and it's not what they were selling us on the cover here. Tawdriest Trime Drama, The Preppy Murder. I remember that. Jennifer Jason Lee. Oh, no, Jennifer Levin. Steamiest sex scenes. Okay. Improbable casting. Tina Yothers. Are they making fun of Tina Yothers? What are they doing here? Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. Huh. Man, I don't remember that. I thought that happened later than the summer of 90, but what do I know? All right, we'll look at these Nielsen things, though, because that might be interesting, too. I'm not too interested in the sports stuff. I mean, there's probably some cool sports stuff going on, but I'm not interested in, like, these awards they're giving out here. This is pretty wild, though. They're showing us the Nielsen ratings, I think. Which, like I said, they definitely have not done that in any TV guide I've ever seen. Roseanne's at the tip top, so how about that? Roseanne overtaking the Cosby Show. And this is a pretty long period. They're going from all the way from fall and spring. Cheers is number 3. A Different World. I didn't know Different World was that popular. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't know everybody did. America's Funniest Home Videos. The Wonder Years. Chicken Soup. That's a thing they were making fun of, but it was pretty highly ranked. LA Law was still popular in 90. I'm slightly surprised by that. I remember that being huge in like 86, 87. Dear John, I like that show. So there's Full House, but it's not a juggernaut yet. And I guess some of these low-ranked ones would be pretty bad in terms of rankings, in terms of Nielsen ratings. There's China Beach. We love that show. We love Dana Delaney. Show of hands in the audience for Dana Delaney's love. So the low ones here, Cops. Wow. And I wonder if a lot of these is just because it's on Fox. So this might be slightly misleading because probably not as many people were probably on to Fox at this point. But Living Dolls, yeah, that one never caught on. Tour of Duty's getting some low ratings. I like that show myself. The Top Specials, Academy Award, I Love Lucy. American Music Award. Yeah, that's back when award shows were worth watching. Theatrical movies, Lethal Weapons at the top. But these would be like with commercials and stuff. Miniseries, this is kind of interesting. And yeah, I wasn't into the miniseries at this point. Well, I definitely watched some when, you know, in the middle of the 80s, but not in 1990. So I never saw the Kennedys or Drug Wars. TV movies, Super Bowl 24 is that? A lot of NFL for the sports categories. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, basic cable. Yeah, this is interesting. Soap operas, Young and the Restless is at the top. That's pretty cool that they rank the networks. So NBC's got the best overall ratings, but it's pretty close. Star Trek Next Gen, right behind Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. That's pretty strong. Because, you know, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, everybody's watching those. Oh, okay, and a lot of ESPN stuff because of the sports. All right, so is there more to that? Because that was kind of underwhelming. But there's going to be more good stuff in this TV guide. Mel Blanc. Okay, so he passed away, I guess, around a year before this. Get some Malibu cigarettes with the colorful boxes. Look at these guys, the old dudes, the legends. I recognize Raleigh Fingers, but some of those guys I don't recognize. Wow, they're doing a whole story on that. Yeah, there's the Mullet Man. He's hilarious. Yeah, there's some great YouTube stuff with him on it. Oh, that's right. He had a sitcom with Jamie Lee Curtis, which didn't go anywhere, but it was looked pretty good. I mean, you got two good people in it. There we go. Batman, 89. So yeah, it would have been on cable by this point. There's a girl from Hill Street Blues. Oh, I guess they were doing that cop rock thing. What a disaster that was. Whose bright idea was that? Look at Buck Rogers. Got a tank, got his muscle shirt on. Ricky Henderson, one of my favorites, maybe my favorite of all time. Doesn't get any better than Ricky. Ricky would talk in the third person because he was that good. Top rentals in 1990. This is fun. Back to the Future 2. Look Who's Talking. It's amazing how popular those Look Who's Talking movies were. Super weird. Harlem Nights, absolute classic. Little Mermaid was out by then. Black Rain's a good movie. They better not be jeersing Elvira over here. Let's see. No, they're still talking about Deborah Norville and what's her name? Why are they cheersing Elvira though? I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, they say the TV vamp. Yeah, we love Elvira. Come on. We don't linger on these articles. They tell me about Bob Saget. Yeah, Bob Saget's notoriously a dirty comic. I mean, he just, you know, he's great. He's hilarious. Guess I didn't like it because he's on the Family Show and stuff. Somebody writing in about the A-Team. Kirby Puckett, another great. Come on, show of hands for Kirby. R.I.P. Farrah Fawcett looking kind of posh in 1990. Respect to her. All right, so this is another Charlotte, North Carolina TV Guide. Peppermint Place. I vaguely remember that children's show. Don't think I ever watched it, but I definitely that name definitely rings a bell. Alf Tales cartoon. Alf had a long cartoon life. Dink the Little Dinosaur. Wimbledon's going on. Classic summertime fair there. There's Dink again. Shrinky Dink. Camp Candy. That might have been John Candy cartoon, but don't quote me on that. I'm still a little baffled that California Raisins had their own cartoon. Like, what do they do every week? Get into adventures and stuff? Somebody leave a comment and tell me. Pee-wee's Playhouse, absolute classic. Remote Control. Anybody remember that game? That was a fun, like some game show or whatever. Very late 80s, early 90s. Super fun. I don't even remember how they competed, but I just remember it being fun and entertaining. Saturday during the day in 1990, we got Crush Rap with a K. Wait, is that, yeah, Paper Moon. I just recently watched that movie. Great movie. Mainly because Tatum O'Neal is absolutely charming, and she won an Oscar for that. She was like 10 years old and won an Oscar. Still the record. Cookin' Cajun with Justin Wilson. I think that was that guy who would say, he had some catchphrase. I guarantee or something. I don't know what he said. All right, let's see what's coming on Saturday evenings in 1990. Some show called Paradise, Beauty and the Beast, Tour of Duty. Two good shows right there. 227 and A&M. And then the Myth South Carolina pageant. Okay, then. Super Jeopardy and Monopoly. So they're just going full game show. All right, if there's a Columbo ad, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my deconstruction of Columbo, folks. I'm sorry, but I got to do it. Let's see what else is on before I deconstruct Columbo for you guys. Super Jeopardy, Cops, Hidden Video, and Living Colors coming on Saturday night. Awesome. Columbo. I'm going to tell you why Columbo sucks. Now, I like the actor. He's definitely charming. The detective character he plays, Columbo, is fun because he's like frumpy. He chews a cigar and he's kind of like frumpy and stuff. But that's movie series and that show is stupid, and I'm going to tell you why. Every single one, every single episode, movie, whatever, there's like a crime that happens. He's the detective. From the very beginning, he already knows who's done it. So there's no mystery involved. He already knows who's done it, and he follows that person around, and he questions them, and he goes into their house. And you're sitting there thinking at some point, why wouldn't this person just say, get out of my house, talk to my lawyer? So every single Columbo mystery, in quotes, is a non-mystery with Columbo not doing any detective work. He just hounds the person, follows them around, talks to them, goes to their house, and at the end of 2 hours, they get found guilty. So, come on, that's like unwatchable stuff from a detective standpoint. And yet, it was incredibly popular. Yeah, not a lot of ads for the night stuff. There's Janet Evans. We all loved her. But we kind of already saw the lineup at night. I think there was a couple things we wanted to look for, though. Yeah, what's this? Paradise and yeah, Super Jeopardy. Who knows? What's this Paradise thing? Di Burton. Yeah, I don't recognize any of the people on there. Columbo sometimes had some fun guest stars, playing the villains or whatever. Janet, we loved her. So this must have been after the '88 Olympics. She must have been like one of the big winners in the '88 Olympics. Saturday Night Live in 1990. Rob Lowe. That's pretty good. It's the Pogues. Saved by the Bell. Screech is struck by a lightning bolt that allows him to see into the future. I don't remember that episode. And I've seen a lot of them. Sunday morning, not a lot to linger on. Star Trek Next Gen. Maybe the best sci-fi TV show ever? I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to put that hot take out there. And obviously, if you prefer the original, I'm probably not going to argue with you. The aesthetic of the original was just so, the noises, the sound effects, the colorful uniforms, just something, they just did some amazing stuff with that aesthetic. Sunday night, we got Murder, She Wrote. We got lots of movies. It's the middle of summer. They're not even trying. We got funniest videos in Mr. Belvedere. Those are both good shows. Got Married with Children, The Living Color. That's pretty strong. I don't remember Booker. Maybe we'll try to look for that at 10. Yeah, they're doing more Olympic stuff here on cable. I don't know what the deal is with that, because the Olympics was definitely 1988. That was the one in Korea. This looks weird. Oh, Let's Make a Deal. I don't understand that show. Yeah, Life Goes On was a fun show, I think. The Geo, anybody remember those? I think Chevy made those, or General Motors. Ugly, cheaply made cars. I call it the Storm, for goodness sake. Look at that thing. All right. And Living Color. Homie the Clown. Booker. Richard Greco's in that. Just like a typical cop show or something. Be good if they had some pictures, but they don't. So USA's doing some original series. That's interesting. I didn't have cable, so I wouldn't have known anything about this kind of stuff in 1990. Let's take a quick look at MTV just so we can roast. So we can roast the modern incarnation of MTV. We got the Weekend Rock. That was always fun. We got Video Countdown. We got Eric Clapton. We got Clapton videos. We got Unplugged. 120 Minutes was great. Notice a theme there? There was actually music on music television. I know that's a cliche to say now, but it was such a good channel back then. Monday morning or weekdays mornings in 1990, you could watch Dennis the Menace. You could watch Muppet Babies. You could watch the Police Academy cartoon. I've never seen that, and I would like to see what that's like. Some cartoon called Maxie's World. Gumby? Dick Tracy cartoon. That's interesting. So maybe because they made that movie, they made a cartoon as well. All right, Monday nights in 1990 in the summer. Major Dad, Primetime Pets, Murphy Brown, Designing Women. That's pretty strong. Turner and Hooch. Did they actually make a TV show based on that movie? Followed by Puchinsky. I guess like dog-themed stuff would be what you'd go for that channel. MacGyver. Check this out. In 1990, a movie called The Bourne Identity. We gotta look for that. That's way before the Bourne movies. Maybe it's based on a book, and maybe this was like the original incarnation of it or something. So that would have been 9 o'clock. And maybe we can see what this Puchinsky thing is, but we may not, unfortunately, because they don't have a lot of ads in this one. That looks fun. Is that Rosanna Arquette? Yeah, it is. And Carrie Fisher. How do I not know about this movie? It's got Rosanna Arquette and Carrie Fisher. I might have to tear this out and look it up later. And some guy. Kind of looks like Mr. Bean, but I'm sure it's not. Here's Mark Harmon. He's still around. Turner and Hooch. Yeah, it looks like it's some TV sitcom based on that movie with Tom Hanks. Primetime Pets. Let's see what this Puchinsky thing is. Detective has a pet peeve. His partner... Oh, Stanley Puchinsky's a guy, though. Peter Boyle. Peeve pet after he's killed on duty. I don't know. That sounds super bizarre. Maybe that's why we've never heard of it. Let's see what this Bourne Identity thing is. So it was a made-for-TV movie in 1998. Amnesiac known as Jason Bourne, Richard Chamberlain, who would have been kind of old at that point, unravels a dark past. I mean, Jacqueline Smith, it might be interesting to see how decent that is. I mean, it's going to be made for TV, but it might be interesting to see what they did with the material. There's that Alien Nation show. I thought it was decent, but it didn't do well, I guess. All right, we got Puchinsky. We got Jason Bourne back in 1988, for goodness sakes. All right, we've already seen the daytime lineup. Get some Pearl Vision Center glasses. Tuesday night, baseball all-star game. Poor little rich girl. Who's the boss? Wonder Years, Roseanne coach, 30-something. Boom. Forget about it. Forget about it. Call the law. This is when I really started getting into baseball pretty heavy. So all these guys, I know all these names. Benito Santiago, Will Clark, Ryan Sandberg, The Wizard of Oz, Chris Sabo, Andre Hawk Dawson, Darryl Strawberry. Is Bo Jackson on this team? Did I miss it? Ken Griffey's on there, but I don't see Bo Jackson's name. Maybe 91. Yeah, there's that Born. No, it's something different. Yeah, I guess these cable channels were doing some original stuff back then. So like Star Trek Next Gen might have been coming on Tuesday nights. Get your CDs. All right, did we miss the Wednesday night lineup here? What's going on? There we go. Wednesday night in the middle of summer. This is America, Charlie Brown. Normal Life, Jake and the Fat Man. Unsolved Mysteries, Night Court, Dear John, Quantum Leap. That's pretty good lineup right there. But they're going against some blockbusters. Growing Pains, Head of the Class, Doogie, China Beach. We love Dana Delaney. Come on now. We love her. She carried that show. It was a good show, though. This America, Charlie Brown, The Great Inventors. Normal Life with Moon Unit Zappa. Okay then. Okay then. Look at this guy right here. Joanna Cassidy. World premiere movie. Interesting. Who else was on China Beach? We know that doctor guy from Star Trek, I think, was on there. Yeah, Robert Picardo. Ricky Lake was on there? Man, I do not remember Ricky Lake on China Beach. All right, we're into Thursday. Get some Gone with the Wind tchotchkes. If you want one of these, leave a comment. I'll send you this coupon. It may be expired since this is like 35 years old, but... All right, we're into Thursday. Wise Guy was a pretty good show. Northern Exposure was a fan favorite. But once again, we still got a strong NBC, Cosby, Different World, Cheers, Grand, and LA Law. And then this Young Riders thing. Right. Yeah, that's a good Northern Exposure ad here. Summer Season. We went through another one where China Beach was premiering in the summer. I'm a little confused by that, but I guess we could Google and find out why that was. All right. Yeah, what was the girl's name on Northern Exposure? Rob Morrow and what's her name? Janine Turner, was that her name? All right, Friday night. I think Miami Vice would have been off the air by this time, but I could be wrong. Newhart is still on. What is going on with that? Why was Newhart? Brett Maverick, Yellow Rose, and Midnight Caller. Those are some off-brand sounding stuff right there. Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers. That's why nobody else is competing right there. And yeah, as far as I can tell, it's like Miami Vice is either not on because it's summertime or no longer on. Primetime Pets again. I don't think I ever saw that. Dixie Carter. James Garner in that Brett Maverick show. American Harvest with Wayne Rogers. He's from MASH. Yellow Rose. Sam Elliott. Chuck Connors. Sybil Shepherd. What? Wonder what that is. Because those are some big names right there. All right. Okay, this is a little bit fun. So we still got some things to look at here. You've seen some other videos. TV Guide would always have this little section with the cable TV movies like Showtime, HBO, what movies you could catch. But they started ranking them with these little star systems. So TV Guide people would say, you know, this one's bad and this one's good. I think it's fun to look at these to see what they liked and what they didn't. And most of their ratings are pretty okay, but sometimes they're kind of off. And that's why it's fun to look at these. So they liked Batman pretty well, the 89 version. They didn't like a movie called Beach Balls. Let's see what else. Breakfast at Tiffany's, they gave 4 stars. They love that one. It is a classic. Cocoon they liked. That makes sense. They like Dangerous Liaisons. That's a pretty good movie with, what's her name? Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer's in that? I thought that other girl was in it too. Deep Star 6, that rings a bell. They like Deliverance. I want to find one that they hated that's actually good. That's what we did in another one. Not seeing any ones here that jump out. The Fly they liked, that's good. Fright Night 2, I never saw that. The first Fright Night was awesome. They gave a lukewarm review to Gidget. Gidget Goes Hawaiian. Framed with Jeff Goldblum. Don't forget, folks, you got to look up that Rosanna Arquette, Carrie Fisher movie when we're done. Jakarta. Wow. It'd be interesting to see how that movie is. They liked Karate Kid 2 okay. They didn't like 3 as much. Was 3? Okay, I don't remember 3. Wow, they didn't like Lean On Me that much. That's interesting. That was a pretty good movie. Moonstruck, they only gave 3 to. I mean, I don't know. You can't give 4 to Moonstruck. They liked Naked Gun as well as they liked Moonstruck. Okay. Once Upon a Time in the West, possibly the best Western ever, or certainly high on the list. If you have not seen that, go watch it. Charles Bronson, Once Upon a Time in the West. Not to be confused with that complete hack, what's his name? They did like Once Upon a Time in Mexico or whatever it was. Police Academy 3 gave 1 star. I probably can't argue with that. Those movies were fun, but pretty mindless. Real Genius. See, this is one I'd take issue right here. Real Genius was a good movie. Better than 2 stars. Real Genius was kind of seared in my brain in the 80s. Silkwood, they gave 3. They didn't like St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's one of my favorites. I give St. Elmo's a 4. Oh, you know who else didn't like St. Elmo's Fire is the Siskel and Ebert guys. They like hated it, especially Siskel. But you know, they're old dudes. That was for the movie was for young people. All right, no big hot takes here that I can find. Weekend at Bernie's, did they like that one? They didn't like it. Yeah, 2 stars, probably fair. All right, so that was 1990, the summertime. Fun things in here. We learned a couple new things as usual. Thanks for joining me. See you guys next time.